Lately, people have been calling for an increase in the minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to as high as $15 an hour. So currently, minimum wage is at $7.25 an hour, and Obama is proposing raising it to $10.10 an hour. Not near as high as the $15 an hour that some people have been proposing. Nevertheless, this would help alleviate people's financial burden who are making minimum wage. The only problem is it is only going to be short-lived, and here is why. Years ago, let's say somebody earned $1 a day, and that was enough to buy groceries. But since the advent of the Federal Reserve System back in 1913, 1914, the dollar has been steadily declining. So it used to be worth roughly up here, let's say, and it's been going down over time. So here's the value of the dollar and time. Now, suppose milk used to cost $1 a gallon, and over time its price has increased to $2 a gallon. When minimum wage was set to $7.25, people could have probably afforded the $1 a gallon, whereas now they can't, and yet they're still earning that amount. So when you increase the minimum wage to $10.10 a gallon, an hour, you can eventually be able to afford this, let's say, figuratively speaking. Now, suppose eventually a gallon of milk goes up to $3. People who are earning $10.10 an hour are back in the same boat as they are today before minimum wage is increased. And then they have to wait several more months to several years, suffering at minimum income and not even earning enough to get by anymore, until legislation is passed to increase it even further. Therefore, just increasing the minimum wage is not a permanent fix, and it's not going to really help people that much who are low-income earners. And the US government has been printing so many dollars, and in 1965, Lyndon Johnson removed silver from coinage, and in 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard. So basically, the money is not backed by anything. And back in the 60s, countries, when we sold debt, since, because we've been selling debt since the Federal Reserve System, when we, sold debt to countries, they would come and redeem it. Even France sent a huge battleship to New York so that they can fill up the gold that the US owed France, to redeem their dollars, and take it back to France. Now, naturally, I believe that maybe Nixon took us off the gold standard back in 71, maybe because we could have possibly run out of gold. I don't know. But what I do know is that the past few years, China has been the largest buyer of gold, and it is believed that they may soon revert their currency to the gold standard. And if that happens, the dollar is not going to just decline, but it's going to tumble. So naturally, that would really hurt people earning even more than minimum wage. So, how can we fix this that low-wage earners can earn more money and also have stability versus a declining dollar? It's very simple. What we have to do is raise the minimum wage, which would be a temporary fix, and in the process focus on the long term by increasing the value of the dollar. And this way, the buying power of what a person can buy will improve over time, and there would be no need for them to suffer until any legislation would be passed to increase minimum wage, and there would necessarily be no need to increase minimum wage. And also, since salaries have gone down in general over the past few years, we're earning less in dollar amount than we used to, let's say, in the 90s. Nevertheless, that would help non-minimum wage earners as well, and everybody would benefit, both the rich and the poor. Whereas in this scenario, by just increasing the minimum wage, only the rich will still benefit, and it will hurt businesses who have to pay more against a declining dollar either way. So this is a way to fix the issue.